Hello, my name is Paul Avila, the founder of Paulys Project. Our project is a nonprofit organization that started over 9 years ago, and it was influenced by my son Pauly, who's now 24 years old. Pauly was born blind and autistic, and at a young age we found out that he loved music. 9 years ago, I started hitting the streets of Skid Row to give back, to do some volunteer work, and I remember after serving breakfast one day, I saw a homeless man and he was wearing headphones. And right away I thought of my son Pauly, and I was like, wow, like music just brings everybody so much joy, you know? I know how much it does for my son. I remember going home and tossing and turning, and I was like, wow, like something touched my heart today. What can we do to give back? I said, I'm gonna start something called Paulys Project. Let's just donate radios in my son's honor. And me and Pauly would hit the streets, you know? And them not knowing that he's blind and autistic, I remember the first thing is, why isn't he looking at me? And I said, well, he's blind, you know? And why isn't he talking? And I said, well, Pauly's autistic, he doesn't talk. And Pauly would hand him the radio, and we'd walk away and say, you know, God bless you, and kind of left him speechless and dumbfounded, you know? And Pauly just went, and it was almost like an angel touching them, you know? And I remember a lot of them saying, you know, who am I to complain? Yes, I live in a tent, but this young man can't see and talk, and he's donating a radio to me, you know? So Pauly just was a huge inspiration to them, you know? Fast forward, you know, years later, as Pauly got older, it got a little difficult, you know, obviously being unable to see and talk, it was a little too much for him, you know, with the sounds and the smells and all that stuff. So I went on my own journey down there to the streets. I just remember them, even as time had passed, they would always ask about Pauly. I just know that he touched their heart, you know, and they said, how's Pauly doing, and stuff like that. So I'd say the first 2 to 3 years, you know, I was going down there by myself. I remember posting, you know, on Instagram, and somebody reached out to me and said, you know what, we love what you do, it's amazing. How do we get involved though? How do we volunteer? We want to be a part of this, you know, positive movement. So I said, you know what, God, she's absolutely right, you know, threw it out there and said, you know what, on next Sunday, 10:30 a.m., we're going to meet at Farmer Boys. Whoever wants to join me, you know, it would be amazing. So I think I had maybe 2 to 3 people that actually showed up. So I was excited, you know, doing this on your own for years. I'm just like, wow, this is cool. Now I have a few hands to help out. And so we would post, you know, I'd make a post and, you know, share some content and videos and pictures. And the following Sunday, you know, now we're up to 5 people, you know, and long story short, it grew, you know. Now I could say we've had literally thousands of volunteers over the years. So I always like to say I got a good core, solid group, 15 to 20 volunteers. And we go out the first and third Sunday of every month, and we meet at 10:30. Yeah, and I know one thing I always pride ourselves with Paulys Project is the relationships we've built in the streets. You know, as I say, you know, respect isn't given, it's earned, and that's for sure Paulys Project throughout the years. You know, I think a lot of it is the word consistency, you know, so you can't just show up once every couple months and be like, hey guys, I'm here, you know. Out there almost every weekend, you know, we do the first and third Sunday of every month with our volunteer group. But I try to go on the Sundays in between. Kind of reminds me of the old days when I used to go by myself, and obviously, you know, I could take my time, I can go in their tents, kind of talk to them and see what's going on. But they open up, you know, and they share. And a lot of it's just, like I said, building that relationship, knowing their name, finding out what's going on in their lives, you know, maybe trying to connect them with families. So there's so many things that we do. We go above and beyond. It's not just, again, handing that sandwich out the window. It's truly getting to know somebody on a personal basis. I think that's really what makes Paulys Project crew, I like to say, unique, is that we really go above and beyond. Sometimes I'll call my volunteers like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, you know, Joe, he was in need of a wheelchair, so we're taking one down to him. I'm like, wow, like it's amazing, you know, that our volunteers pick up on all these things. And it's really like our brothers and sisters, you know, family out there. You know, if they're going through a hardship, we try to help them through it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, I've faced some difficult situations, you know, where people pulled knives on me, cussed me out, threw stuff at me, you know, but I didn't let that discourage me. You know, I said, hey, maybe one person's having a bad day. We don't know what they've went through. This guy's probably out here, you know, think of the rain or when it's super hot or super cold, you know. So that's what I tell people, and I think that's how my son has prepared me. Sometimes people pat me on the back. Paul, it's amazing what you do out there. And I say, what, to be honest, it's kind of what I do in my household. I'm a caregiver at heart, all the stuff I do for my son. So when I come out here and help others, I think that's just my personality. I've just learned not to judge, it's just, everybody has a different lifestyle, but at the end of the day, you don't know what the next man's gone through. We don't know what situation got him there. All I know is I'm there to help, to give back, offer resources. Sometimes it's just going up to somebody, talking to them, listening to them. A lot of times, they say, hey, Paul, you're the first person who's recognized me all week. You came up to me and shook my hand, looked me in the eyes. If you think about it, thousands of cars are driving by them every day. It's hard, life's a struggle. And if Pauly's project could be there to uplift them and make a difference, we're also connected with services. So we're trying to get them in housing. As we know, some want help, some may not. We don't judge, I've lost a lot of friends, I could say, out here in the streets with homelessness, and it's been tough, but I don't get discouraged. It actually just gives me the passion more to go out and with our Paulys Project family, we're so blessed to serve thousands of people in our community. An afternoon with the Paulys Project crew would be, we meet at Farmer Boys at 10:30. We're a little bit unique where we don't just stay put on one corner, I guess you could say, or one street. We're mobile, so I think we cover a little more ground. We probably hit maybe 5 to 6 different encampments. So every car is responsible for something. So maybe one car has anything from dog food, because we've got to take care of our four-legged friends. One car could have clothing, men's, women's. Another car, hygiene kits. We even have one of our volunteers that has books and reading glasses. So everybody has something in there. I love that because everybody gets involved. Everybody gets to start conversation, stay at a spot, maybe about half hour or so, and we'll kind of move and caravan to the next spot. So I think we touch more what I like to call the outskirts of downtown LA, where a lot of people don't go down those streets. I think Skid Row does get a lot of love on the weekends. A lot of organizations go out there, giving out, food and different items. But my niche is kind of the back streets. They're kind of, I guess, the forgotten crowd, I like to say. Not many people or organizations go out there. So I found certain streets, certain routes we do, or we're always open to go to, different places. We go down maybe some rough streets, here's some back alleys, under freeway encampments, stuff like that. But when I get a lot of first-time volunteers, they really don't know what to expect. They're kind of green, a little nervous, but I say, hey, we've established relationships out there, and you'll find your way through it. So I always like to ask them at the end of the day, like, what did you think? And they're just blown away. They're amazed by, I guess, the relationships we built, and they're like, wow, you guys know them on a first name basis, and they know you. And it's just, they're able to go out there, and it takes a village, as they say. So we just have to get involved. All right, guys, I could say 2021's been amazing, but I'm looking to 2022. We need you guys involved. People always say, we love the story of Paulys Project, the backstory, the inspiration, all that you and Pauly have been through your journey, being a father of a blind and autistic son. And I like to tell them, you know what, that's great, and I appreciate, the kudos and the pat in the back, but it doesn't end there. We need your help as a community. I understand some people can't go on the front lines as we do. It's not for everybody. But you know what? There's something that you can do. You can donate, you can help, volunteer behind the scenes, We're always in need of cases of water, hygiene kits, socks, shoes. You got those old clothes sitting in your closet. You got those blankets you don't use, sleeping bags, pillows. You have no idea what a person on the concrete goes through. They're freezing. They go through all the elements of rain and heat. I like to say it's all the things that we take for granted, people are praying for. Every year we're always reaching more people. So, we can't do it alone. Like I said, we need the community. We need the involvement. Maybe your school, your work, your organization, your church, something that you belong to. Maybe you want to have a drive to help Paulys Project, a sock drive, blanket drive. We need cases of water, anything like that, makes a huge difference. We can all come together as a community and do it. Los Angeles is over 60,000 homeless people in our community. We can choose to ignore it, or we can choose to face it head on and make a difference.